Hey, Rucky. I couldn't stop thinking about that last night, and I just kept fucking laughing.
What did you even use to make that?
Just garage band.
Okay.
And
Did you just like isolate Bullwinkle's voice?
no, I did that myself. That's
Oh,
that's me.
oh, I thought it was like actually Bullwinkle. That was
No,
pretty spot on.
I wish you could hear it, man. So I know
Yeah,
everybody out there will hear it.
Hey, Rocky, I shit my pants.
I
Again?
heard it. Yeah.
That's going in the soundboard.
Hell yeah, dude. Um, I guess we can just go ahead and start and just talk about Thanksgiving and whatnot.
All right, you got an ad read or anything?
Yeah, just the same old stuff.
All right, here we go. In three, two, one.
You are listening to the Open Micers podcast, which is brought to you by that dirty, rotten motherfucker, BJ DeBlow. He knows exactly what he did, and he would have started his own podcast, but he's too chicken shit. Oh, and also, Mr. Mike Evelyn is a wonderful person. He's in our Patreon. Shout out to Mike Evelyn from B-Res Coffee. Buy your B-Res Coffee at brescoffee.com. And if you want to be as cool as him, go to www.openmicrospodcast.com. For as little as $1, you can get a shout out on the episode. And let's start this one.
It is the night before Thanksgiving, and all through the house, your two podcasters were talking in the Zoom room and couch. My name is Jason Robbins.
I am the 1 week accident free Jacob Craig.
Yeah.
And I don't think that you're winning any freestyle contests soon, buddy.
No, I wasn't prepared. I did not know I was going to do that.
Yeah, not exactly 8 Mile over here.
No. I don't pretend to be.
Yeah, well, that's good. Yeah, we're gonna do a Thanksgiving special day before Thanksgiving. Buddy, what are your plans? Are you traveling? What are you doing for
No.
Thanksgiving?
Going to my mom and dad's and eating, and then come in here and eating again because I'm going to make some food here. My mom and dad are cooking, and then we're going to cook some stuff here, and that's about it.
Awesome, man.
I
Have you
see.
thought about
I see
what's
your
up?
mom was making cornbread for the stuffing today,
Yeah.
and I take it that you don't like stuffing.
No, I don't. Well, I do. I like stovetop.
What
I
is wrong
specifically
with
hate
you?
I specifically hate her homemade dressing because it's just
Why?
not good. It's not good, and I tell her that to her face every year. I don't like it.
You are an ungrateful little bastard of a child. You know that?
I'm just saying that's the one thing that she cooks that I don't like on Thanksgiving
How do you
is the
not like
stuffing.
homemade dressing? Like my grandmother made homemade dressing and I miss it so much every year. My mom makes it, but it's still good, but it's not quite it doesn't have that grandma touch that my grandmother
Yeah.
had to it.
Yeah. I mean, I love the cornbread. Like she came and gave me a piece of cornbread before she ripped it all up to, you know,
See,
ruin
'cause
it and make dressing.
the thing is, my mom makes it by my grandmother's recipe, and my
Yeah.
grandmother never really went by recipe. She just kind of went by feel and whatever she felt like throwing in there. So it was always a little bit different every time. So it's always kind of like that little special magic of you're not quite sure what's in there, but it's
Yeah.
so good. And I love it, man. That's like the one thing every year I'm like, Mom, please, please make the dressing because I can't live without it. I don't
I
know
might
how
give it
you can
another.
not like dressing. You're you're a crazy person.
Maybe I'll give it another shot this year, but every time I try it, I'm just like, it's not good.
Put the gravy on it, man. Just put some
I
gravy
do.
on it.
But you know what I do like though is like right before the leftovers go bad, like the day before, my mom's like, all right, we have to throw this shit out. She usually makes Johnny cakes, like Thanksgiving Johnny cakes,
What is this?
where so a Johnny cake is basically just like a thin pancake, but she makes Thanksgiving Johnny cakes where she'll put turkey, rip it up in the stuffing, make it a little pancake, and fry it, and then put gravy over it.
That
And
actually
I like
sounds
that
awesome.
shit a lot. Yeah, it is great, dude. I look forward to the leftover Johnny cakes. But Thanksgiving Day, I usually don't fuck with the dressing.
Yeah, my grandmother used to pre-bake a turkey, and then she would
Yeah.
use that turkey meat in her dressing. So it was like,
Oh,
dude, she spent like 2 weeks on Thanksgiving dinner, and I miss it. It was so good.
yeah. I've never really experienced any grandma cooking because my Grammy lives in Iowa and she's also not a great cook from what I hear. And my grandma cooked for Thanksgiving for maybe until I was like 8 or 9 years old. And then she was too old to cook. And so everyone else cooked instead. So I
Yeah.
don't even really remember what my grandma's cooking was like for the most part.
So you missed out on good grandma cooking.
Yeah, basically, because it never really stuck in my mind because I was too young to realize, like, oh, this is a special moment, you know?
Yeah.
It was just like, oh, this is food and this is what I like and don't like. And my uncles are being crazy and who invited them. And I didn't think I was related to you.
See,
Who
that's the
fuck is this
thing.
guy?
As I got older, I started to appreciate smaller Thanksgivings
Yeah.
because when I was a kid, it was like this big, huge family affair with like, because my grandfather, he wasn't my blood blood grandfather. He was my step grandfather, but he had a huge family, and every year we would either have to travel to somewhere up near Hattiesburg to go to the big family Thanksgiving, or they would have it down here. And I'm a person who likes leftovers. And when you have that many damn people, there are no leftovers. So I hated the
Yeah.
big Thanksgiving. And I remember it was once in 2004. We were on the road with Fall as well. And I spent the holidays away from home because we were on the road. And for Thanksgiving, it was one of the last big Thanksgivings that the family had together. And I specifically told my mom, I said, look, before all these freeloaders come down and eat all the food, please save me some turkey. That's all I wanted. I wanted, because I love turkey sandwiches after Thanksgiving. That's like my favorite
me
thing
too.
is just a turkey sandwich with like a ton of mayonnaise on it. It's so good.
Season and salt. You
Yeah.
put season and salt on it.
Oh
Hell
yeah. Yeah. So, but that's all I wanted was I was like, please save me some turkey, and I'll be home the next couple days. We have a break. We're gonna come home for a few days. I think I spent Thanksgiving dinner in the Peabody in Memphis that
Okay.
Thanksgiving. But yeah, as it turned out, my mom didn't get to the turkey in time, and they ate it all.
Oh shit.
Freaking freeloaders came down here and ate it all and didn't leave me any. I was so pissed. I was like, I don't ever want to do another big Thanksgiving again. Like, screw all these people. Please, let's make our own damn turkey and fixins so that I can have something to eat next year. And we never did another big Thanksgiving after that because that was when my grandfather's health was starting to get bad. So the whole huge family dynamic thing was starting to wane. But I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful that I don't have to see 85 relatives that I don't have anything to do with.
Yeah, I don't miss that at all because when my grandma stopped cooking, we stopped doing giant family Thanksgivings. And my dad is the youngest of 5 siblings. So I have like so many cousins that I meet once a year. And I'm bugging my mom and she's having to cook. And she's like, just go play with your cousins. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
And I
That's
don't
the
want to play
thing.
with my cousins.
Always having to play with cousins that you like only saw once a year. And it's like, go play football in the yard. I'm like, I don't want to go play football with these people I don't know. First off, I don't want to play football. Two, I'm antisocial. I'm awkward. I'm like the awkwardest kid ever. Why do I want to hang out with people that I only see once a year? So no thank you. I like a nice small Thanksgiving, and then I want to eat till I explode, and then I want to fall asleep for like 2 or 3 hours, and then I want to wake up and immediately eat again. Like that's what I want to do.
Yeah, I'm thankful that this year this is gonna be the smallest Thanksgiving we've had in years because it's just gonna be me, my mom, and my dad, and my girlfriend and my daughter. Like my brother's not even coming over for Thanksgiving. They're doing their own Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's such few people for the amount of food that we're cooking. We're gonna have so many fucking leftovers. And my dad started frying the turkey. So the turkey's been on point for the last few years, man. I fucking love fried turkey.
I love fried turkey so much. Oh my god. I'm like my mouth's watering thinking about it.
Yeah. It's so much better than baked turkey, and you don't have to get up at 5 in the morning to put a
Well,
turkey in the oven.
Here's the thing. I don't like moist turkey. I like my
Yeah.
turkey a little bit dry. I don't know about you.
I don't know. I like a moist turkey.
I don't like I don't know. I want it to be nice and kind of firm, kind of dry. That way when you put the gravy on it, it kind of soaks up the gravy a little bit. And
Yeah.
it's not like a big mushy pile of meat on the plate.
Well, I like a fried turkey because it makes it more like chicken. Like eating a fried turkey is a lot like eating a baked chicken.
Yeah.
Because turkey is just an inferior meat to chicken. I don't know why we don't do chicken for Thanksgiving. Just fry a fucking chicken. Jesus Christ, it's that easy.
I want 4 fried chickens and a Coke.
Hell yes, dude. My nickname in when I was a kid was Juliet Jake because I fucking love the Blues Brothers so much, and I reminded everyone of Jake Elwood from the Blues Brothers.
Hell yeah.
But what's like the weirdest incident you've had at a Thanksgiving? I can go first if you don't.
Yeah, go first because I can't really think of anything.
So there was one year when I was like a preteen. I was like 12, 13, something like that. And my brother worked with this guy. I forgot his name, but he was working at Papa John's, and he worked with this guy at Papa John's. And for some reason, he came to our Thanksgiving. And I found out years later that he came to our Thanksgiving because he was our parents' weed dealer. My parents invited their weed dealer to our Thanksgiving.
That is freaking awesome.
Yeah. And that was like all we had that year. It was just me, my parents, my brother, and my parents' weed dealer. And that's who was at Thanksgiving.
Guess it pays to be a weed dealer. You get to go eat Thanksgiving dinner.
That just shows you how much of an old lady my mom is, where she'll buy weed from you and just be like, "You want to come get a plate, baby?" And then they'll actually take her up on it because she's so sweet.
I love your mom. She's awesome.
Yeah, you're the only one. But no, I love my mom too,
No,
man.
I don't know.
fuck with
I
her a
can't
lot.
think of anything like any weird incidents other than just
Yeah.
being an awkward kid around family that I
Yeah.
only saw once a year.
Yeah, I mean, there was definitely a lot of that when I was younger because, like, my uncle Lauren is such a mean bastard. And also, he's the one brother that's adopted, so fuck that guy. Like, I don't even claim him as my uncle. It's like, he's adopted, so fuck him.
Wow.
And, like, my other uncle is on heroin and
Jesus.
fucking all kinds of shit, dude. Yeah, so I'm glad I don't have to deal with any of that if I don't want to. It's like, I'll run into one of my uncles every now and then. Like, I saw the one uncle that I like in a parking lot while we were coming out of a Chinese buffet. And he's an electrician, so he was just like working on shit on his truck in the parking lot. It was just like, hey, that's the one uncle I give a shit about. And it was basically just like a hi and bye.
Yeah.
Like, I like that kind of dynamic with my extended family.
Yeah, there's not too much extended family that I really associate with. I mean, like my closer cousins, the ones that I really grew up with and was around all the time, I still talk to. Not all the time, like maybe once every couple of months, but I don't know, like that whole extended, like way far out family. Like I don't even remember those people's names honestly half the time.
Oh, me neither. My mom will like tell me it's like, oh, so and so died. And I'm like,
Yeah.
who the fuck is that?
Same thing.
What?
My parents are like, you know, your cousin such and such passed away this week. I'm like, who?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know who this person is.
Yeah, especially because I have a giant family in Iowa as well. So there's just a whole branch of my family I've never even fucking met before. And so my mom would be like, your uncle so-and-so died. He was my uncle. He was my daddy's brother. I was like, who?
Who?
I've never met this man. But yeah, it's nice having family far away too, because you can, you know.
I
Just
feel like the big Thanksgiving thing is starting to die out too. Like I think
yeah.
big family get-togethers just aren't a thing anymore. Like when I was
Well,
a
now
kid,
it's
they used to do did you ever go to like family reunions when you were a kid?
uh, we had one and it was horrible. But yeah, just one.
And my dad still goes to the family reunions and I'm like I don't want to go to that. I really
Yeah,
don't.
right. Yeah, no, we don't do anything like that anymore because I mean, the one time we did have a family reunion, it was fine, I guess, but it was like, 70, 80 fucking family members in my grandma's little ass house and
Yeah.
people's breaking shit. And everyone's like, who broke the shit?
I tell you what, if I was to have like a big Thanksgiving, I would rather it be like my chosen family. Like
That's
you
what
know,
that's what I was about to say. The thing now is Friendsgivings. Like
yeah,
everyone's doing a Friendsgiving.
that's what I'd rather do. Like just invite the people that I like to talk to.
Yeah. I mean, I was raised with very strong like core family values, but in all honesty, like family's kind of overrated, man. Like, I mean, if we'd never established a relationship, you're just some dude that we share like a quarter of blood with.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I'd much rather spend a Thanksgiving with people that I actually, can bring up something with and like make me laugh and stuff.
Because I kind of picture you and me are kind of the same. Like we're into the same stuff, like
Yeah, yeah.
comic books and science fiction, things like that. And even as a kid, I was the same way. I was into science fiction. Like
Yeah.
I was the kid who was always talking about like Star Wars when nobody gave a shit about Star Wars. So I was
Yeah.
always the awkward kid. But like all my cousins are like these, alpha male hunters and
Mhm.
shit. I'm just like, I got nothing in common with these people. Like if I was not family with them, I would not associate with them at all.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, luckily enough, like, I mean, all of my cousins are into the same shit that I'm into. They'll have some kind of interest in comic books and science fiction or whatever. It's just, I'd never wanted to talk to them. Like, I mean, it's like, I just want to, because I don't know them. Like, I know my family. And so
Yeah.
I would just like literally just follow my brother everywhere at the family reunion and
Yeah.
just annoy the shit out of him.
A lot of my dad's side of the family, they all still live near one another. Like,
Yeah.
they all live within like a mile of one another. And I'm just like, I like my family, but I don't want to live next door to them.
Yeah.
I love my parents, but if they live next door to me, that would drive me crazy.
Yeah, I think it's acceptable to see your family maybe once a month
Yeah.
at most. Like, I think that's acceptable. Go visit your family once a month. And because, I mean, you have to, at a certain point, go and establish your own life and,
Yeah.
just let your parents kind of figure out what their life's going to be now,
Yeah.
I guess.
See, when I was a kid, my dad, me and my brother used to call my dad the yard Nazi because
Yeah.
all he did was yard work, like all the time. So, and then as we got older, guess who had to help do the yard work? So,
Right.
and we lived out in the middle of nowhere, so there was like a lot of yard work to do. And he beat any kind of love I had for being outdoors out of me at a young age. So I know if I lived next to my parents now, I would be doing all their yard work plus my own. And I don't want to even, that's why I live in an apartment. I could get a house, but I don't want to do yard work. I don't want to do it. I don't want to cut grass. I don't want to go outside and have to worry. I don't want to be that guy that stands out on the porch after a long day of mowing grass and being like, "Yeah, that's my lawn." Like I'm not
Yeah,
that
right.
dude. I'm not that guy. I will let my grass turn into a jungle if you let me.
Yeah, I couldn't give two fucks about a yard or anything like that. I mean, the only reason I would ever want like a small yard or anything is so my daughter could go out and play in it. And like she doesn't need the kind of fucking yard that we have at my house because we have 10 acres of land and 2 of it is cleared. So there's just a giant 2 acres of land to go fucking run around on. She doesn't need that.
If I were to get a house and it had a yard, if it's like whether it's a quarter an acre or whatever, if I ever get a house again, I'm completely filling in the yard with concrete. Like it's going to be all concrete. I'm serious. You think I'm joking? I'm not. It's going to be all concrete.
That's so sadistic.
It is. I hate grass. I hate cutting. Dude, you have no idea how much I hate doing yard work.
Yeah. I'm starting to get it a little bit. I mean, you would rather like burn your feet on concrete than
Yeah, exactly.
do yard work.
There's nothing
But
worse than being like 16 or 17 years old and you've been up, all night, like with your friends, or even just up playing video games most of the night, because that's what you're supposed to do when you're 17 years old. You stay up all night, and then starting promptly at 6:15 in the morning, your mom comes busting into your bedroom, be like, "You need to go help your dad cut the grass." Like, I don't want to do that. No.
yeah, right.
Let me sleep another 7 hours, and then I'll get up and help him.
Dude, that's me now.
Yeah.
Like, I wake up to go to work at 2 p.m. And before that, I'm not doing shit. I'm not helping anybody with anything.
I think my dad's kind of antisocial, so I think that was his escape from having
Yeah.
to be around people, was to like be in the yard all the time doing yard work. I think he just didn't want to talk to anybody, so he would just go out and do stuff.
Yeah, my dad's the same way. Like, if we ever have, like, what he would deem too many people to be at our house, he would just, like, first of all, throw on clothes because he wears pajamas around the house 24/7. So he would put on clothes and then go out to the shed and then just pretend to be doing stuff. Like, just like throwing stuff around
Yeah.
and like messing with tools and just like pretending that has something to do.
Yeah.
Because he just doesn't want to be around all these people in his damn house.
How old is your dad?
Same age as my mom. He's 53.
Okay.
Their birthdays are 13 days apart.
Yeah, I think if you're like 50 and over, like if you were born anywhere near like 1970 and before, I don't think you know how to like do things that are like, I don't think anybody like plays video games or anything like that. That's
Yeah.
more of a, my generation and forward. Like I get enjoyment out of just sitting by myself and playing video games for like, I could sit at my computer and play a game for like 5 or 6 hours straight and be totally okay with that. I think older generations, like even my brother's like 5 years older than me, and I think, I don't know, they just get enjoyment out of different things. Like, and I
Yeah.
think like if you're born before 1970, like your thing is to like escape the family and go do like pretend to do yard work. Like that's
I
the
guess.
thing.
Whereas like my dad just hates meeting new people. So like if there's anyone new at my house, like the first the first couple of times I brought my girlfriend around, he would like go outside to get away from my girlfriend. Like he doesn't want to meet anyone new. He has no social skills at all.
Well,
It's just
I get it. I don't. Nobody knew.
my girlfriend said this the other day. We were sitting in the living room by ourselves, and she asked, "Hey, where's your dad at?" And I was like, I don't know. I haven't seen him today because he works late and he hasn't got out of bed. I was like, I don't know. I haven't seen him. She's like, oh, I miss him. He adds something to the room like a nice lamp. My dad's basically just decoration for our living room because that's all he does is just sits in the living room and doesn't say anything. Just sits and drinks coffee and dips snuff. And watches whatever we want to watch on TV because he doesn't give a shit.
Yeah. So what do you think you're going to be like when you're that age?
I don't think I'm going to make it to that age, buddy. But
I'm almost there. I got like another 10 years and I'll be there.
Yeah. If I do, I would like to think that I would stay with the times a little bit. But also I've caught myself like thinking about how much of a pussy the next generation is as well. Because I mean,
I have theories about that, about how like the kind of the Gen X, like I feel like we're way more hardcore than the newer generations.
Yeah.
Because like we grew up with like, like metal, like heavy metal and like punk rock and all that kind of stuff. So like we're a little more hardcore than kids now. So I think I don't know. I just feel like it's roles have reversed.
Yeah, dude, I'm Gen Z, and I'm even thinking like these younger kids just aren't handling things the way that I would handle them when I was a kid.
Yeah,
Like they just let like kids, like if there's one kid bullying everybody, there's one, let's say there's one kid bullying like 10 kids, right?
Mm.
They're just gonna let it happen and act like they're helpless about it. If that happened when I was a kid, if there was one kid bullying me and 9 of my friends, we would have jumped that kid,
yeah.
beat the fuck out of that kid. Like the kids these days just don't do it. I was like, stop being a pussy, beat the fuck out of that little 10-year-old dude.
Yeah.
Like that's how we would have handled things. But apparently that's not what happens anymore. I don't know.
They're like a weird mix of like being of super conservative but like hardcore liberals. It's
I
weird.
guess. It is weird. It is weird. Yeah, I mean, I feel like everyone's kind of doomed to repeat what, you know, the future generations have done, where they just have a deep-seated hatred for the next generation coming up
Yeah.
because they don't do things the same way.
This thing about Gen X is like nobody gives a shit about us, so we don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, your generation is definitely the one that slipped through the cracks. Like you just kind of,
Yeah.
got to do your own things, and no one's like, it's up to you to do this and that.
Well, there
That's
wasn't
on the
enough of
millennials.
us. Like, and I've talked about this before in my stand-up. It's like there's not enough of us to make a difference in anything. Like, and even the ones of us that there are, none of us give a shit. That's why we let Donald Trump slip through the cracks and become president, because we don't
Yeah.
have the numbers to fight anything.
Well, I feel like responsibility has kind of skipped a generation, right? Because like the baby boomers had responsibility, and then the Gen X didn't, and now millennials have responsibility, and
Yeah.
my generation's not gonna. So
Yeah. Well, it's kind of, we just figured out pretty early on how shitty the world is, because our boomer parents, like, they weren't really around all that much. Like,
Right.
my parents worked a lot when I was a kid. Like, I remember in elementary school and into like middle school, my mom and dad worked together, and they didn't get home till like almost 6 o'clock. So by the time we got off school, it was free for all till the parents got home. And I spent a lot of time with my grandparents. I feel like half the parenting of me was done by my grandmother.
Yeah. I was lucky enough to where I had my mom pretty much all the time growing up. But I also feel like I grew up in a different generation than everyone else in my generation did, because we were just so far out in the country and we were so poor that it felt like I was growing up as like a Gen X or a millennial or something like that.
See, and that's the weird thing. People talk about how the whole generational thing that's going on now, they talk about how boomers are hoarding all the wealth. I don't think that's true, because like when I was a kid, like even till now, my parents were not that well off. Like they had to work a lot to pay the bills. That's why we never saw them when we were kids. The only problem is modern medicine is causing people to live longer. That's why Gen X never got to do anything, because all the freaking boomers are still alive, and now all of us Gen Xers are like becoming like late middle age.
So what I'm hearing is that we should kill the old.
No.
Okay.
But here's the thing. I'm wondering if we're going to actually, if things keep going this way, are people going to live to be like 150 years old? Like
God,
by
I
the
hope
time,
not.
or is it just going to reverse, and like us Gen Xers, because we all smoke, we're all going to die when we're like, 55.
Well, I feel like eventually everyone's going to start dying because they can't afford to get any treatment. Like, I mean, think about this. Think about if Donald Trump successfully repealed pre-existing conditions from insurance coverage. I would be dead right now. Like, I wouldn't be alive, because we can't just pay $800 for a vial of insulin. Like,
no shit.
So I mean, I feel like if something like that happens, where people just start not being able to afford medical, medical bills, then a lot of people are gonna start dying.
Hell, right now I can't afford my cholesterol medication, so I just don't take it.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, eventually it's gonna get to the point where people are like, "Oh, I can't afford to have this life-saving surgery, so I'm just gonna die."
It's that way now. Like, if something were to happen to me, I don't have insurance right now. My my insurance lapsed. I can't afford, even with the free enrollment with the Affordable Care Act, I still can't afford the monthly premiums. I mean, you're talking the monthly premiums, even on the cheap end, are still more than my car note. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
I know.
stretched thin as it is.
I don't know what I'm gonna do. I mean, I'm on my dad's insurance until 26, luckily, but
Yeah.
I mean, if I don't have a job with insurance by then I guess I'm just fucked.
Dude, if I get sick or something happens to me, you're gonna be seeing a GoFundMe as soon as I get out of the hospital.
Yeah, for sure. Get a Kickstarter going.
Yeah, unless we get some more Patreons here for the show.
Join our Patreon, save Jason Robbins' life.
Yeah, get him a new kidney.
Yeah, but I think we're gonna get out of here in a couple minutes.
I hope you enjoyed the Thanksgiving episode, everybody, because we've done three hostful episodes in a row. I hope you've enjoyed them.
Yeah, and I think this one's not as funny as the other ones we had, but I think I hope you guys enjoyed learning a little bit about us and hearing about our Thanksgiving. Get a more sentimental episode in on the podcast. But before we go, I want to ask you, Jason, what are you thankful for this year?
Oh my gosh, I'm thankful for actually being able to get out and do comedy again. Thankful for being vaccinated and not have to wear a mask everywhere. Thankful for my mom and dad still being alive. Thankful for my girlfriend. Thankful for a roof over my head, and I'm thankful for all my friends like you and Wally. Like, I love all you guys.
Hell yeah, man. This year I would say I'm thankful for going 1 week without shitting myself.
Yeah. I'm thankful for you not shitting yourself too.
Yeah, thank you. Everyone should be thankful for that. I'm thankful for my daughter. I'm thankful that she's finally started growing hair.
Finally?
Because before it looked like she had a receding hairline, because she just has the long hair in the back and it's cut off to her forehead.
She had a skullet.
Basically, yeah, she really did. It looked like she had like a rat tail almost.
Awesome.
But thankfully, she started growing some front hair. I'm thankful for all the opportunities I've gotten in comedy and all of the people that have been willing to come on this podcast. Thankful for Mo Alexander and everyone that we've been able to have on, Ryan Niemiller, Sean Finnerty, all those guys. Yeah, man, and I'm thankful for the bookings I have in the future. They still haven't posted the show I'm on in January, but that's their fault. I'm just gonna go ahead and say that January 13th in Mobile, Alabama, at the Alabama Music Box, I'm gonna be opening for Nick Youssef, so I'm very thankful for that. I'll keep you guys updated on that, and I'm gonna try to get Nick Youssef on the podcast, so maybe we'll talk about that more in the future.
And I want to let everybody know too, I got added to the Ty Rivera show December 3rd at the Juke Joint. Go to Landmass Comedy on Facebook and look on the event page if you want to go to it. Pre-sale tickets are $10 online. Go get those. Go buy them early and come out and see us December 3rd at 8 p.m. at the Juke Joint in Ocean Springs, Mississippi, to see Ty Rivera live.
Yeah, I haven't asked if I'm hosting that show or not, but in any case, I will be there at least to watch, maybe do a guest spot if I'm not hosting.
Awesome.
But yeah, I think that's it, buddy. You got anything else on your gourd?
Nope, that is it. So I'm going to go ahead and play our music here. If you want to email us at openmikerspodcast@gmail.com, at openmikers on Twitter and Instagram, openmikers podcast on Facebook, OM podcast. Openmikers.com will take you to our Patreon if you want to contribute to the show. And that's about it. So we will see you guys next week. Happy Thanksgiving! Awesome.
Hell yeah.
Right, thank you guys for watching on Twitch, and have a happy Thanksgiving. And we will see you guys. Thank you, everybody that's going to be watching this on YouTube when I drop it over there. You guys have a happy Thanksgiving, and we'll talk to you next week.